I was stuffing my face at an elite school. My classmates mocked me for being a fat pig. I just nodded and chuckled foolishly because they were right. My dad really is the star pig farmer in our village. Until one day, that top-performing boy accidentally fell into my food bowl. Damn, you're so desperate you can't even skip a meal? Ha 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 ha. Jiangsu lifted his face, his gloomy eyes scanning all of us. Suddenly, a row of bullet comments floated before my eyes. You're all finished. The male lead is going to completely blacken. 10 years later, until one day, a high-achieving poor student, someone who once messed with my food bowl, killed everyone present today. My jaw dropped as I let out a hiccup. Wait, no. I didn't even get to finish my food. And now I'm going to be killed by him? Jiangsu staggered away. The bullet comments were full of pity. Poor male lead baby. He developed anorexia because of the bullying. He suffered for half his life. Thankfully he met the female lead who cured his illness and walked into his heart even when the female lead hurt him later. He never left her side. I keenly captured the key information. Does it mean if I cure his anorexia, I won't have to die? So I quickly dialed a number. Hello, Dad, you taking orders? 1.8 meters tall. One skinny pig weighing only 100 pounds. What? Daughter, isn't this pig a bit too long and thin? Damn. It's not a pig, it's a person. A poor student from my school. He's so thin his ribs are sticking out. Ribs? Those are delicious. Stewed in soup or braised are both good. Mom, you heard wrong. It's too noisy here. It's not about raising pigs. It's about feeding a classmate, right? No problem, send him home. Dad guarantees he'll be fed up to 200 pounds, ready to leave the pen in glory. After getting my dad's promise, I breathed a long sigh of relief. With my dad on it, Jiangsu's anorexia should be manageable. If I cure him, I won't have to die. So I sprinted all the way to catch up with Jiangsu. Hey, classmate. Do you want to come to my house for dinner? Jiangsu, thin as a rail, slowly turned around. His school uniform still had soup from my lunchbox on it. His eyes were hollow. What kind of new prank is this? Don't misunderstand, I'm not with them. I just thought you looked a bit thin. So I wanted to invite you to my house for a meal. Classmate Jiangsu, the food at my house is really fragrant. If you don't believe me, just smell your clothes. See? Smells good, right? I was eating braised intestines today. The sauce was handmade by my dad. Actually, it wasn't intestines. It was pig's head meat. Okay, it wasn't pig's head meat either. It was pig organ soup. This time Jiangsu didn't vomit because he completely fainted. Bullet comments floated before me. Good grief. This female supporting character is treating the male lead like a vertical human toy. At first glance, the male lead is still breathing, but he's actually about to suffocate. This evil female supporting character is doing it on purpose, right? Knowing the male lead hates pork the most, she keeps bringing it up. Is this some kind of school bullying tactic? I aggrievedly called my dad. The moment the call connected, I couldn't help but wail. I'm afraid someone hates pigs. Piggies are so cute. How can anyone hate piggies? After crying out my grievances, I noticed Jiangsu was still unconscious on the ground. So I had to support him by myself. A kind-hearted male student came over and asked, "Do you need help?" But before he could finish, I had already hoisted Jiangsu onto my shoulder. I even gave him a little bounce. He really was too light. Barely over 100 pounds. The male student looked embarrassed at the sight, then couldn't help but ask, "Shaoli, how are you so strong?" I got used to carrying small tables since I was a kid. I took Jiangsu to the school infirmary and asked the doctor to change him into clean clothes. Charge the costs to my account. Elite schools have this one downside. Everything costs money. Luckily, I have a stack of my dad's black cards. This student is severely malnourished. If this continues, the situation will be grim. I see. Why don't you write him a sick leave note? I'll take him back to treat his itchiness. I don't want to, Jiangsu. Classmate, your current physical condition is very dangerous. How about this, you come home with me first. Food and housing are provided, plus a salary. I'll hire you as my private tutor. Jiangsu looked at me with deep suspicion. Even the school doctor cautioned. Shaoli, kidnapping or defrauding a classmate is illegal. You rich people. If you don't use money to trample on others' dignity, does your whole body feel uncomfortable? The button on his shirt wasn't fastened tightly. Through the gap, I saw bright red wounds. I quickly pulled my hand back. No, I don't have a hobby of hitting people. Jiangsu's gaze was confused and puzzled. You give me money. Isn't it just so you can have a reason to vent your frustrations on me? Or do you have even more cruel tricks? I didn't expect that from his perspective. This is how things looked. Just how much had he been through to end up like this? Classmate Jiangsu. Your grades are so good. I'm paying because I want you to tutor me. Jiangsu's eyes still held a hint of wariness. Let's reintroduce ourselves. Classmate Jiangsu. I am Shaoli from Class B. I am Jiangsu from Class A. I brought Jiangsu to my house. Not long after, my dad returned. Around his neck hung a gold chain thicker than any wrappers. He was quite stout, and from head to toe, he screamed one thing. I am nouveau riche. My dad really is nouveau riche. So, when my classmates call me nouveau riche, I never talk back, because they're right. Hello, young classmate. He slapped Jiangsu on the shoulder, sending him into a fit of coughing. Jiangsu. Please don't be angry. My dad didn't mean any harm. He's just got a strong grip. My dad. If he gets angry and adds my dad to the hit list, a star of the pig farming world will fall. It's okay. My dad pulled me aside and asked, Daughter, you've never brought a classmate home. He's the first. And he's a boy too. Looking at how nervous you were just now. You couldn't possibly. That's right, Dad. I like him. So please make sure to nurse him back to health. Fair-skinned and chubby. Understood, my lady. When it comes to raising things, I trust my dad completely. When my dad was young and raised pigs in the village, he did it so well he was known as the Great Pig Marshal. None of the pigs he sold were under 300 pounds. Later, some red chickens showed up at our place. My dad just scattered some grain for them. Who knew the yard would soon be overrun with them? Just as my dad was about to stew some red chicken soup for me, people from the city arrived. Turns out those weren't red chickens, but the endangered Lady Amherst's pheasant. Birds that experts couldn't keep alive. We're thriving like a colony at my dad's place. So after that, my dad raised everything. Up until now, my family has opened several dozen large zoos across the country. Even the most difficult animals were handled. I don't believe a mere Jiangsu can't be fattened up. Jiangsu believed he was my tutor. And that since he took the money, he had to work hard. So he spread his books out on the dining table, ready to tutor me. While he wasn't looking, I quietly moved those test papers and reference books aside. When Jiangsu turned around, he found the paper he just laid down was gone. I quickly explained. In our house, the dining table is the most sacred place. It shouldn't be tainted by mundane things like books and papers. This excuse was so weird that Jiangsu stared at me for a long time. Before he could get a new paper, my dad started serving the dishes. In his left hand, a basin of longjing shrimp. In his right, a basin of braised shark fin. He shouted, dinner time, while placing the dishes on the table. Xiaoli told me. You don't like pork. So today is a pork-free feast. Isn't this a bit too much food? Definitely. My dad's way of serving food in stainless steel basins scared him. Just as I was about to explain, the aunties started lining up, banging on basins as they served the food. I felt like Jiangsu was dazed. The bullet comments were laughing too. The supporting character messed up. At this stage, the male lead can't handle even a bit of animal fat. She prepared a whole table of meat for him. Does she really think anorexia is that easy to cure? Probably only the female lead can cure it. I looked at my dad with a determination I'd never had before. Dad, change the dishes. 10 minutes later, the entire dining table was a sea of green. There were several basins of vegetables, some looking like they were just dug out of the soil. I handed the chopsticks to Jiangsu with both hands, giving him a winning smile. Classmate Jiangsu, eat whatever you like. That day he barely ate anything, while my dad and I ate a belly full of greens. Was what you said just now true? Which part are you talking about? Just the part where you said you liked me. Oh no, is this going to turn into a puppy love drama? While I was hesitating on how to answer, the bullet comments appeared. This supporting character isn't going to take the chance to confess, is she? She's not the female lead. Why is she interfering? Right, I'm not the female lead. If I admit it now, I'll probably be harshly rejected by Jiangsu. But then a comment said, but the male lead is starved for love. Maybe this tiny bit of love from the supporting character might actually help him. I locked eyes with Jiangsu, trying to gauge his true thoughts. From his gaze. Fine. Since he needs me so much, then I'll say yes. I do like you. From the first moment I saw you, I fell for you. Liar. Haha, typical supporting character. The first time they met, Jiangsu was being bullied so miserably she doesn't even think before she lies. The next day at school, I bumped into Jiangsu in the hallway. Before I could say hello, someone splashed a whole bucket of water on him. Jiangsu, can you please not bring the stench of the slums to school? Ha 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 ha. Exactly, stinky boy. Can't you take a bath? Jiangsu, what's wrong with you? What do you think this place is? Go home already. Don't stay here and embarrass us. Jiangsu stood there with his eyes downcast. No matter what they said or did, he seemed completely indifferent. The school bell rang. He slowly turned to leave. Jiangsu. Go back and splash water on them too. It doesn't matter. I'm used to it. The bullet comments started showing pity again. Poor male lead baby. He got into this elite school because of his grades. Only to be bullied by everyone. He can't even leave. Because the annual school scholarship is very important to him. He's been bullied for almost 3 years. Jiangsu stubbornly walked home. And I stubbornly followed him. Passing by a small grocery store, we happened to see the owner selling discounted overnight offal. Jiangsu went over and spent 5 yuan to buy a box, but the moment he smelled it, he rushed to a nearby trash can and started gagging. Can't you not eat pig offal? The doctor said grandma needs meat. This is all I can afford. That day I bought a duck and followed Jiangsu upstairs to give it to his grandma. Jiangsu refused to let me into his home. I turned around and saw Grandma Jiang sitting downstairs. She saw me, waved me over, and we chatted for a while. Grandma told me that when Jiangsu was young, his father was abusive. His mother couldn't take it and ran away. Later his father found a stepmother. Both of them considered Jiangsu a burden. The stepmother resented him for eating their food and spending their money. So, she forced him to eat leftover pig offal every day. Jiangsu couldn't take it and fled to the only person willing to raise him, his grandma. Since then, he couldn't touch pork and began suffering from anorexia. Asu's condition is getting worse now. I'll definitely nurse Jiangsu back to health. The next day, I was about to go to class A to find Jiangsu. But I realized something major had happened in his class. You're not ugly. It's me. Move again and I'll show you. Just like that. Jiangsu held a pencil sharpener blade against his own throat and walked out of the classroom. He went to the rooftop and walked to the edge. The fierce wind whipped his clothes. I quickly shouted, Jiangsu, don't. Give me a reason. Because I like you. Jiangsu. Do you know when we first met? Was it half a year ago? Half a year ago, because I was at my old school. And I was being bullied severely. So I transferred to this elite school. Before starting, my dad stuffed a stack of black card supplementary cards into my pocket. He said solemnly that making friends is no different from raising pigs. Just give them the good stuff. So on my first day of school, I treated the entire class to the most expensive restaurant in the city. People from the next class asked why I didn't invite them. We're all classmates. You shouldn't play favorites, right? I agreed immediately without blinking. But there was one person in their class who didn't go, and that was Jiangsu. He sat in the back of the classroom, staring out the window with indifference. Suddenly, he turned and locked eyes with me. In just a second, I was sure he was one of my kind. Your kind? You're a rich young lady. And I'm just a poor student who got in on grades. How could we be the same? I said nothing, just rolled up my sleeve to show him. The skin on my upper arm was covered in dense white stretch marks. When I was little, my dad was busy with the farm, so he hired a nanny to look after me. The nanny found that I was well behaved as long as I was eating. So she kept feeding me all sorts of things. As I grew up, I was always the fattest kid in class. My classmates mocked me and bullied me. When I tried to reach for something on the ground, they played leapfrog on my back. Jiangsu, we are exactly the same kind. Except I survived. While you're still drowning in the sea. Jiangsu crouched down, unable to resist reaching out to gently touch the jagged lines on my arm. Don't be afraid. I will help you. If you believe me, let me try this once. Just once. Abracadabra. May the 50 pounds I lost. I'll be transferred to Jiangsu. So you were trying to curse me? Look at what you're saying. We're classmates, how could I curse you? This is a free gift. I have plenty of meat. That little bit isn't enough. To be honest, standing next to you makes me feel insecure. I look like a stump. You're not a stump. I'm the one they call a skeleton. Do you think it's better to be a stump or a skeleton? A stump, I guess. It feels more secure. The two of us walked together, arguing incessantly until the very end. Before parting, he blinked with a struggle. Closing his eyes, he looked like he was bracing for death. Oh, by the way, I didn't actually plan to jump. I was just looking at the view below. Jiangsu had been a top student since he was a child. He learned everything quickly and well. This time, he started learning how to eat like a child. The two of us sat in the cafeteria. I watched him eat nervously. And Jiangsu was even more nervous than me. His hand holding the chopsticks was shaking. After he took 3 bites, I breathed a sigh of relief. But Jiangsu suddenly stood up, rushed to the trash can, and threw up. When Jiangsu came back, he lowered his head and apologized to me. I was too impatient. The bullet comments started flooding in. Haha, a supporting character is just a supporting character. How could she possibly cure the male lead's illness? Every pot has its lid. The female lead belongs with the male lead. The supporting character should just go find a supporting male character. Hearing this made me a little angry. Playing matchmaker here, are we? Why should I, Shaoli, only be matched with a supporting male character? I'll be with whoever I want to be with. If you push me, I'll go form a couple with the female lead. Seeing my angry expression, Jiangsu bit his lip anxiously. The one who should say sorry is me. I'll eat again. I'll eat right now. He said this while picking up his chopsticks and stuffing food into his mouth. Ah. Wait. Xiaoli. Are you very disappointed in me? I couldn't eat these according to your expectations. I cupped Jiangsu's face with both hands, lifting his head that was almost drooping under the table. Remember, Jiangsu. Everything can be wrong, but it's never your fault. You are the male lead. You are the male lead. The bullet comments went into a panic. It's over. How does the stupid supporting character seem to know something? That's right. Everyone is the protagonist of their own life script. You are the male lead, Jiangsu, and I am the female lead, Xiaoli, understand? Hey, Jiangsu. I heard that lately. You've been getting very close to Xiaoli from the next class. Do you guys often discuss your studies together? I heard Xiaoli didn't like to talk much before. But she's much more cheerful now that she's with you. Isn't that right? The two of them are always discussing studies together. Way more proactive than when they're hanging out with us, ha ha ha. Don't crowd around me. And don't just talk about others like that. Jiangsu, don't be angry. They're just joking. Don't take it to heart. We were just kidding. Is it really that serious? Su Yan, with his cheeks red and swollen, looked at me in disbelief. Xiaoli, you. It's all your fault, Su Yan. Because of you, I become the kind of bully I hate the most. Su Yan was stunned. Seeing me crying louder and louder. Su Yan even felt a bit awkward and tried to comfort me. Okay, Xiaoli. Stop crying. You don't have much strength anyway. It didn't actually hurt that much. I can forgive you. Before he could finish his sentence, I landed another heavy punch, right on his nose. Can you direct all your anger at me? If not, I can give you another kick too. Xiaoli. You just wait. Through this method of escalating violence, I successfully shifted Su Yan's attention onto myself. Jiangsu escaped the ordeal because of this. The dean called my dad to the school for a talk. After a while, the meeting ended. My dad walked out, saw me, and let out a heavy sigh. I didn't dare to speak, only dared to follow him, silently from behind. As we almost reached the school gate, my dad turned around and flicked my forehead hard. Didn't I tell you? When you hit someone, use dirty tricks. It's best not to show your face. Why did you throw a punch head on? My opponent was staring right at me. I couldn't help it. Next time, go for a sneak attack, you hear me? I nodded seriously. Dad. Will hitting a classmate cost a lot of compensation? You hit the young master of the Su family. 2 punches cost 1 million. That's 500,000 per punch. If I'd known, I would have used 90% of my strength for the first punch too. It's okay, daughter. Leave yourself some room for improvement. Dad, am I spending too much of your money? I'm a bit worried. Your dozens of zoos won't be enough to support me. What nonsense. Dad just reached a cooperation deal in Africa. I'm bringing people there for breeding. Specializing in endangered species. Every single one we raise pays off. So the next day, I took the new card my dad gave me, led Jiangsu, and walked up to Su Yan, whose face was covered in bandages. It costs 500,000 to punch Su Yan once. I have 5 million on this card. How many punches can I get? 15? Jiangsu, don't you have a perfect score in math? Don't you know how to calculate? Because in our world, buying a pound gets you an extra half pound for free. Jiangsu's bullying problem was solved just like that. When the bullied lamb learns to headbutt, the school's food chain gets an update. The students at school all started saying, this kid found himself a protector. I felt quite happy in my heart. I didn't expect that one day I could also be someone else's protector. Actually, that day, while I was waiting for my dad at the dean's office door, Jiangsu was watching me from not far away. I knew he actually wanted to take the blame himself. But I always stopped him. Later, he couldn't help but ask me, why are you helping me at such a high cost? Because I like you. The perfect standard answer. It wouldn't raise any suspicions. After hearing that, Jiangsu ran away without looking back. I suppose he was scared off by my passionate confession, but that's fine too. He wouldn't like me anyway. The next thing to solve was his eating problem. I thought back carefully. The times Jiangsu ate the most were at my house. If only my dad could come every day to cook for me and Jiangsu. Daughter, what do you want to eat today? Am I having auditory hallucinations? I turned my head and saw a familiar potbelly. My dad was wearing the school cafeteria chef's hat. Dad, aren't you going to Africa for breeding? My dad quickly covered my mouth and pushed me back into my seat. He looked around nervously and whispered, don't let your classmates here know who I am. Finally, no one at this school is bullying you. Dad, why are you here? Oh, you've been coming home looking so gloomy lately. Auntie Wang asked you what was wrong. And you said you were distressed because your classmate couldn't eat. Just look at you. My daughter is so hungry she's almost losing her shape. Dad, I'm still about 50 meals away from losing my shape. Daughter, let me tell you. I've been inbreeding for so many years. There isn't a mammal I can't fatten up. The mammal Jiangsu arrived. Simba, the benefit of serving food in the cafeteria is a steady hand. No leaking ladles, and everyone gets the same tray. Except the food on my plate was piled up like a mountain. A curious classmate asked me. Xiaoli, which window did you get this from? How is there so much? The paternal love window. Unfortunately, he searched both floors of the cafeteria and couldn't find it. With my dad personally overseeing Jiangsu, he indeed managed to eat. He ate lunch with me at the cafeteria window and came to my house for dinner in the evening. After half a month, he gained exactly 5 pounds. This is incredible. This supporting character really seems able to cure the male lead. Hey, stop calling her a supporting character. She has a name, it's Xiaoli. What if Xiaoli really takes the lead? What will our female lead, Qingyao, do? What will happen? I'll handle it. Handling it with flexibility and excitement. To me, Jiangsu was just a classmate who needed help. Once he's better and willing to spare my life, I will naturally bow out and retire, leaving the stage to him and the person he loves. Xiaoli? Oh. What's wrong? You spaced out during the lesson again. I just asked you a question. Sorry. My bad. Which question did you just ask? The multiple choice on culture, or something else? I wanted to ask if you'd like to come to my house for dinner. I'm actually okay at cooking. My grandma always says it's pretty good. If you don't want to go, it's okay. If you're worried the pickles aren't fresh, I can save up money to buy them at an expensive supermarket. And the dishes. I'll definitely sanitize the dishes. Or I'll buy new ones for you. Look, you've succeeded. To celebrate, I'll let you do the cooking. No need for expensive supermarkets. And no need for new dishes. As long as it's your cooking, I'll definitely clear the plate. Okay. Where's Jiangsu? Don't know, haven't seen him all afternoon. He didn't come this afternoon? I panicked, thinking something had happened to him, but I found Jiangsu waiting for me at the school gate. He had specially changed his clothes, a clean white shirt, and dark trousers. Though they were a bit old, they were fresh and tidy. Moving closer, I could smell the fresh scent of soap. I picked these up on the way. When I sat on the back seat of Jiangsu's bicycle, I quietly made a face at him. What do you mean, picked up on the way? The flower shop logo is still printed on the inside. When we got to his house, I found he had not only tidied the place until it was bright and clean, but the food was already prepared. Jiangsu rubbed his hands nervously, as if this were my house instead of his. I sat on a chair where Jiangsu had laid a new cushion, and finished the meal face to face with him. 4 dishes and a soup in total, and we finished every bit of it. Just as I was about to let out a satisfied burp and pat my belly, Jiangsu handed over a card. Xiaoli, I spent 20,000 from this card on medicine for my grandma. Consider it a debt I owe you. Once I'm in university, I'll work part-time to save up and pay you back. Aren't you acting as my tutor? This is your salary. Jiangsu walked up to me. Showing a strong, assertive side for the first time, he insisted on pressing the card into my hand, wrapping his large hand over mine, to make me grip the card tightly. I don't want our relationship to be employer and employee. Then what do you want our relationship to be? The only answer I got was the fragrant scent of soap. After the college entrance exam results came out, Jiangsu joyfully took the top spot in the whole school, ranking in the top 10 in the province. Meanwhile, I got into the strongest agricultural college in the country. My dad was extremely happy. He put up a banner for me on the African savannah. Warmly celebrate the success of eldest Miss Xiaoli. When the teachers from the North University admissions team came to scout Jiangsu, even those wealthy young masters and ladies found it hard not to pay attention to him. Family background is innate, but academic achievement is one's own. They could indeed inherit family estates without effort, but without a smart brain, they wouldn't be able to keep the wealth of their ancestors. The bullet comments were also happy, great. Once Jiangsu goes to university, he'll meet his fated girl. But I think this Jiangsu has already fallen in love. Are you talking about the Jiangsu who filled his balcony with hibiscus flowers, preparing to confess? This is bad. The female lead, Qingyao, seems to have fallen for someone else too. Is this world about to fall into chaos? Let's name this couple the demon subduing drizzle. Hey, I don't agree with that name. Who are you calling drizzle? Our Jiangsu is clearly bullet comment banned for explicit content. I finally had some peace and quiet, looking back at Jiangsu, who had transformed into a refined young man. He was taking nervous deep breaths. What's wrong, Jiangsu? Xiaoli, I want to tell you. I like you. Will you be with me? Yes, I'm willing. Falling in love with Jiangsu was a matter of course. In the 6 months he spent as my tutor, we got to know each other little by little. The main thing is, after his anorexia was cured, he became tall and handsome. A superficial person like me who values looks really found it hard to resist the male lead's charm. Whenever others said Jiangsu was living off a woman, He would nod graciously and emphasize, Xiaoli's home-cooked meals are truly delicious. Although our universities are in different cities, our feelings are still accumulating step by step. I'm never afraid of the so-called female lead, because Jiangsu met her as soon as he entered university. But at that time, they both had their own partners. More importantly, Jiangsu has fully recovered. He no longer needs anyone to save him, and our story has only just begun.